This right here is the only fragrance in my entire collection that I refuse to wear. It's not because it's bad, but rather because it's too good at what it's trying to do. Today we're going to be reviewing Inexcusable Evil by Toskovat. I'll tell you what it smells like, I'll tell you what it means, and I'll tell you why it haunts me. And at the end I'll give you my 2 cents. Let's get going. All right, welcome back to the channel. This is my 2 cents. My name is Sean. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you've already seen the channel, welcome back. Now, before we get started, I do want to say, if you are a fan of fast-paced fragrance reviews and you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It would really help me out. That algorithm likes to see the subscribe button pressed. It also likes to see comments and likes. So today we're going to be reviewing Inexcusable Evil by Toskovat. If you don't know anything about the house, this is a Romanian-based niche perfume house, and the perfumer of the house is a man named David Lev Slavisky. David bases all of his fragrances around a specific memory. These fragrances push emotional boundaries. At once you think you're smelling something sweet and something childlike, and then all of a sudden in the same fragrance you smell gasoline. Now, as I said, all of David's fragrances are based on some sort of a memory. That memory can be something from his childhood that was a good memory, or it could be something that was a bad memory. The basic concept behind this fragrance is capturing the scent of war. Not just the scent during the war, but also the scent of the decay and the aftermath of war. Think hospital room, think antiseptics, think latex, think blood. All of that is captured in this fragrance right here. Now you may say, why would somebody want to smell like that? This is not a fragrance that's made to charm. It's not meant to smell pretty. It is meant to resonate. This is not designed for the casual wear. Now, I do have several Toskovat fragrances in my collection. As you can see behind me, there are 6 others there. This fragrance smells straight up like trauma. But before we get into seeing what it smells like, I do want to point out the boxing of the Toskovat fragrances. I don't usually like to talk about the boxes, but for Toskovat, it sort of makes sense. If you're not familiar, the fragrances all come in a nice little drawer package with a sleeve on the outside. I don't know if you can see it. It says Inexcusable Evil on the other side here. Open it up here. And inside it is wrapped up in ribbons. There's a small bag that you can carry it in, and also an envelope that says I remember, with some prose and some drawings that are supposed to represent the fragrance. The prose here talks about what the fragrance is about, but on the back side is a QR code that you can scan, and there's a music list that has all of the songs that David thought of while making this fragrance. So it's pretty cool, gives you an immersive experience. So the prose that's here goes on to talk about destruction and pain. There's falling buildings, there's crying babies, there's wounds, there's crutches in the hospital. It's definitely a dark memory here. I don't know if David was actually in war. I'd be interested to know. If you know anything about the perfumer here, let me know. But this is definitely a dark piece of literature included here. And the pictures, you've got what looks like a picture of a hospital on a dark night with lightning in the sky. There's another building where people are attacking the building and others are running away from the building. And here you've got what looks like a uniform with dead flowers on it. Looks like some sort of a memorial. Yeah, so you can see this is a very bright and uplifting fragrance. The bottles are 60 ml bottles. They come with the Toskovat cap on the top. This is a 60 ml bottle. Most of the labels here are white. This one is specifically black. When you turn the Toskovat bottle around, usually on the back side of the label it says I remember, but this one specifically says I wish I didn't. I'm going to come closer and see if you can see it. And my guess is that that is David's way of saying he wishes he didn't have to create a fragrance that was about war. Okay, so now before I spray the fragrance, let's get into the notes as they say on Fragrantica. Fragrantica lists the top notes as gunpowder and ozonic notes. In the heart, you've got blood, bandages, iodine, burning flowers, guaiac wood, copaiba oil, and cypriol. In the base, you have fallen concrete, rain, incense, and sandalwood. So I've had this fragrance nearly a year. I've only sprayed it once when I first got it because I wanted to know what it smelled like. It is very hard to get your hands on these Toskovat fragrances. Once they're available on the website, they're normally sold out within a day or 2 days. So you can't even get a decant of this. So I just blind bought this because there was so much buzz around it and people seemed to either love it or hate it, and I liked that about it. So when I got it, I sprayed it once. You can see I've barely used it. This is the second time I'm spraying it in a year, and I'm doing it all for you. You're welcome. All right, so let's see what the atomizer looks like. All right, at the first spray, you get an intense burst of gunpowder. It is metallic, it is cold, it is depressing. There's nothing lifting this up in the top. There's no citrus, there's no floral note right there, nothing bright, airy, lifting it up. This is a cold, dark, metallic note coming right out of the bottle. And then in the middle, very, very quickly, you get that blood and iodine note. And for me, that's what sticks with you right off the bat. This is not just a hint at iodine. This isn't a hint at blood. This smells straight up like you're sticking your nose into a days-old bandage, and it hits you and it lingers in the back of your nasal cavity. This isn't a thick blood. It's not a sweet blood like something in Bull's Blood by imaginary authors. This is a tense clinical blood mixed with iodine. In the middle also you get a floral note, and this is where I have to spend the most time explaining. When you hear that there's a floral note in here, don't think something light and floral like a tuberose or a rose. This smells like dead, decaying flowers. Think about that last vacation you went on when somebody got you a bouquet of flowers and you left them on the kitchen table. You came back in 2 weeks and there was that decaying floral scent left in your kitchen. That is what you're getting from this scent. And that is probably the strongest note in this entire thing. It smells like the death, the aftermath. If you've spent any time at all in a hospital, that's what you're smelling. You have the dead flowers, you have the iodine, you have the blood. But in the base notes here, somehow you've got rain, you've got concrete, think about a depressing day of war, or you're walking by an abandoned hospital. That's all captured right here. I don't get the incense, I don't get the sandalwood. The sandalwood, I feel, usually acts to wrap around something, make it a little bit more wearable. That's not happening here. This fragrance oscillates somewhere between cold and wet and dark. It's just completely unsettling. This never becomes pretty, nor is it trying to. It keeps that clinical, medicinal, just hospital-like vibe right to its core, straight up through the length of wearing it. When would I wear this fragrance? If ever. As you know, I haven't worn it since. This fragrance makes me depressed. It is something that just reminds me of sad times in my life. This is not something for normal occasions. You would not wear this to the office. You would not wear this in a small group setting. You're not going to wear this on a date. You're not going to wear this on an airplane, although I did smell somebody once wearing it on the airplane, but it's definitely not a good idea to wear Inexcusable Evil in tight quarters. This is for someone who is artistic. This is for someone who wants to experiment. This is for someone who wants a fragrance that's going to challenge people. One spray of this is going to be more than enough. The sillage is intense, it pushes out aggressively, and it lasts very, very long. This is something that's going to cling to your skin, it's going to cling to your clothing, and I'm not so sure that you want it to. I mean, I'd be interested to know if you've ever smelled this or if you own this, if this is something that you wear daily. Is it something that you wear weekly? Is it something that you wear on dark occasions? With Halloween coming up, maybe this is the fragrance you go to. All right, now let me give you my 2 cents on Inexcusable Evil by Toskovat. All right, so what's good about this fragrance? This for me is absolutely positively a work of art. Regardless of the fact that I don't wear it, I am very happy to have it in my collection. What David has managed to accomplish here is nothing short of extraordinary. If you wanted a fragrance that smells like war, the aftermath of war, the experience in the hospital, this captures all of that perfectly. You get all of the different notes separately, and when they come together, it just takes you on a complete journey. The concept matches exactly what the fragrance is, with very, very few compromises here. Also, it's very unique. You're never going to smell another fragrance that smells like this. But that said, this is a very emotional fragrance. It's disconcerting. At the same time, it's haunting. It's also unsettling. People are not going to know what they're smelling, but it's going to remind them of something. If they've ever spent time in a hospital, they're going to be triggered by what they're smelling on your skin. Also, David over at Toskovat is flexing real technical skill here. He's managed to balance blood, metal, decay, flowers, concrete, all perfectly so that it all fits together. Now, on the other side, the risks here are this fragrance may overwhelm you. It may overwhelm everybody in the room. For me, it made me want to remove it. Once I sprayed it on my skin the first time, I wanted it off of my skin. I did not want to smell this. I didn't want to be reminded of it the rest of the day. I had a very visceral reaction to this. When I went out to dinner the night that I got it, I was with my mom and I was with Raul, and Raul sprayed it on his skin. I remember in the middle of dinner looking across the table and saying, God, I can smell that across the table. And what it was doing to me is it was making me depressed. It was making me sad. It was making me remember times when family members had been in the hospital. It's borderline unwearable, and some people may actually recoil when they smell it on you. And the power that it has is very intentional, so a lot of people won't get it. This is for a very refined nose who is into niche perfumery and who wants something that's going to push the boundaries and make somebody think. For me, even knowing what it's doing does not prepare you for the visceral reaction that your body is going to have when you at first smell this. It triggers very heavy reactions, heavy sensations of hospital, wounds, pain, suffering, and it almost makes it too real and too raw at the same time. But like I said, I absolutely respect this and I love it as a work of art. I love having it in my collection. I love sharing it with people when they come over here who don't know anything about the house. I like telling people about it. But for me, this is a fragrance that haunts definitely more than it flatters. That was my 2 cents on Toskovat's Inexcusable Evil. If you have this fragrance or if you've smelled it before, definitely write me a comment. Let me know what it does for you. Is this something that you can wear all the time? Is this something that you even wear once a month? Is this something that you only wear on Halloween? Because we got like 3 weeks left until Halloween. Definitely leave me a comment. If you like this fragrance, or better yet, if you don't like this fragrance, leave me a thumbs up. I'll get more likes that way. If you know anything about the house, if there's another one that you'd like to see reviewed, I did do Empty Wish as well, which is much more wearable. If you'd like to see that review, go check out the videos on my page. I have 5 other ones behind me, and I have another one coming. It has been, I know I said in my last video that it's been on its way. It's still on its way. It's a month later. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. This has been my 2 cents. My name is Sean, and I hope to see you next episode. And